I am preparing for FE electrical and computer exam. I've spent tons of time, effort, used a wide variety of exam preparation resources, but for whatever reason, whenever I'm put under time pressure, 3 minutes per question, I blank out. Hi, my name is Wasim Asgar. I'm a licensed professional engineer in the US and Canada. I've helped tons of engineers prepare for FE electrical and PE power exams. The scenario that I described to you is not a very uncommon one when it comes to FE electrical and computer exam preparation, especially the exam day experience. FE electrical and computer exam is quite literally a race against time. You have 110 questions on the exam. You're given 5 hours and 20 minutes. That translates to 3 minutes per question, which basically means that as soon as you see a question, you have to analyze it. You have to get the wheels spinning in your mind right away. Think about how to approach it, do the calculations, and maybe quickly check them, and then select the right answer and review the options. Obviously, that also takes time. And you don't have to do it only once or twice or 10 times or 20 times. You have to do it 110 times with a very, very tight window of time. I've come across really smart engineers, really hardworking and focused candidates who are preparing for these exams, and they clearly put in a lot of time and effort, but when they are under time constraint, they're not able to perform to the best of their abilities. It's not that they are not competent or they haven't worked hard enough. They're dealing with exam anxiety. I've got this small request for you. 77% of you watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. That's a massive number. If this video is helping you out in any shape, way, or form, please do me a quick favor. Please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. That way you will not miss out on any content that we've got planned, and it really supports the channel. And in this video, I'm going to give you some practical tips that can help you deal with exam anxiety and nervousness. So let's start with tip number 1. It will probably help you to recognize that exam anxiety is very common and very natural. There is something about this whole concept of examination and test taking which puts a spotlight on us and makes the whole experience a little bit intimidating. But I'm here to tell you that you are not the only one who is going through this experience. Once you recognize that everybody else who's taking the FE electrical and computer exam or the PE power exam is going through the same experience, it will probably help you feel a little bit more calmer and comfortable. There is nothing specifically wrong with your approach or with the anxiety that you are experiencing. And if you feel heightened tension and stress during your exam, it might be a good idea to just take a couple of deep breaths, and that can help alleviate the stress as well. My second recommendation is to over-prepare for the FE electrical and computer exam. Now, this may not be the advice that you were looking for, because it means that leading up to the exam day, you have to put in excessive amount of hours and put tons and tons of effort, do a whole bunch of practice problems, learn the concepts, get familiar with the reference handbook, know the calculator, and the whole 9 yards. But I like to tell my students who are enrolled in my FE electrical and the PE power exam preparation programs that if we choose to sweat during training, we are most likely not going to bleed in the battle. Over preparation by means of studying a little bit more than what is probably required is going to help you develop the muscles, I'm talking about the mind muscles, that will allow you to latch onto the problems right away. The wheels in your mind are going to spin faster. A lot of people think that the best way to save time on the exam is just by becoming extremely competent with your calculator, which partially is true, or developing the reference handbook and knowing it at the back of your hand type of thing, and even going out of your way to maybe memorize some of the equations and formulas. But in my opinion, helping thousands of engineers prepare for these challenging exams, time-constrained exams, the recommendation is a little bit different. Deep theoretical conceptual understanding is the way to go. Because if a problem is twisted and it's testing you on a concept, let's say power factor, if you understand power factor inside out, your understanding is not limited to just power factor is equal to P divided by S, the real power divided by apparent power, which is equal to cosine theta, but you understand the concept behind lagging power factor, leading power factor. You can explain power factor to somebody else using the impedance triangle, which actually is not even mentioned in the P power reference handbook or the FE electrical and computer reference handbook, and you can also explain it by means of power triangle. Then chances are that no matter how a question is testing you on power factor, you will be able to tackle it much faster than the other candidate whose understanding is limited to maybe just a few definitions, maybe the diagram that is given in the reference handbook and the formula. So over preparing and creating a deeper understanding of the underlying concepts will help you become more comfortable on the exam day. And my third recommendation is not to be afraid of failure. Again, this may sound counterintuitive, but the more you think about failure, the more it turns into a self-fulfilling prophecy, because it puts you on a back foot. By obsessing about failure or by obsessing about even not failing, the mind is going to contract rather than expand. You're not in a position where you're like, okay, throw whatever you want to throw at me, I'll give it my best shot. You're kind of hiding in the corner. Every time you click next, you're hoping that the question is a plug and chug, a slam dunk type of problem. Because the moment it becomes a little bit of a curveball, because you're afraid of failure, you're going to remind yourself that maybe today is not my day. So leading up to the exam, try your level best to study as effectively, as efficiently as you can, and as deeply as you can. But on the day of the exam, be confident about your abilities, and your goal should be to put the best foot forward. That is, perform to the best of your abilities. If your abilities are up to here, fine. Don't underperform by obsessing about failing. Because if you are able to reach the potential that you developed during your exam preparation, then there is a high likelihood of you passing this exam. And it will also make the exam day experience a little bit more comfortable. And at the end of the day, I recognize that a lot of these things are easier said than done. In case you're looking for streamlined exam preparation resources where there is structure, where there is support, where there is mentorship, where there is progress tracking, high quality practice problems, simple explanations, that will allow you to systematically prepare for all 17 sections of the exam. And I would recommend you to check out my website studyforfe.com, where I help students prepare for both FE Electrical as well as the PE Power exams. Thanks for your time.